welcome to the Teresa Lusk Show. I want to introduce to you our guest. We have the farm boss, our Texas Agricultural Commissioner. Commissioner, welcome to the show.
It's good to be with you. Thank you, Teresa, for having me on.
Thank you. You know, a lot of us, we listen to people talk about the different offices in Texas and throughout the nation, and you hear, what is the Texas Agricultural Commissioner do anyway? And you know, I don't know about you, but I'm a city girl, so I thought, hey, you know, it has to do with farming and farming alone. But actually, Commissioner, as we were talking and as I did my research, guess what, my friends? You're going to learn a whole lot about how important this role is. So, Commissioner, tell us a little bit about why is your position so important to the state?
Well, look, we do everything ag. You know, like you said, we're all about cows, sows, and plows, okay? But we do a lot more than that. Mm-hmm. My agency affects the average citizen, the average housewife, mother, more times one day than any other state agency. We have over 130 statutory functions that we perform for the state and federal government. Wow. So we do consumer protection. Okay. So it might surprise your listeners to know that I'm the one that makes sure every barcode scanner in the state is accurate when you check out at the counter. Okay. Every scale in the state. And you think, well, that's at the, you know, back at the deli, in the grocery store, and maybe the truck stop where they weigh big trucks. But it doesn't stop there. We go in every pawn shop, every jewelry store. They buy and sell gold and silver. It's kind of important that their scales are accurate.
Yes, sir.
we go into mail houses, pharmacies, airports, weigh your luggage, remember? Wow. And check those scales, make sure they're accurate. We go into places like Starbucks that can sell coffee by the pound. Wow. I have highly trained, specialized inspectors that inspect ping pong balls.
Wow.
We inspected over 3,500 ping pong balls last year. Wow. And I joke about that, but it's serious. Yes. Because we do that for the Texas Lottery. There's millions and millions of dollars riding on those ping pong balls.
Goodness.
We got to make sure that someone's not rigging the game.
Wow.
So we wear gloves. We do it in a vacuum chamber. Wow. If you touching that ping pong ball, the oil off your finger will make it heavier on one side and cause a certain number to turn up. Goodness. So see, we do stuff. I'll tell you, you don't know. You have no idea what we do.
For real. I mean, this is very real. How in the world do you even tie that to agriculture, though? How is a ping pong ball tied to the agriculture? Am I just being completely clueless here, or what is it?
Well, it goes back to our inception, and so someone had to make sure that the farmers were getting, you know, a full bushel of grain, that they were getting 100 pounds of feed. So that's all kind of comes under weights and measures. Okay. So we're the ones that early on, you know, did everything was sold by length, volume, weight, you know, cord of wood, you know, all of that. That's how we got started on that. But we don't stop there. We're more than consumer protection. We are over rural health care. In 191 counties, I make sure that rural health care is delivered to our rural citizens. We are the marketing agency for the state. We're kind of the Chamber of Commerce for the state. Oh, wow. It's our Go Texan program. Okay. I have expanded that. We took it nationwide. Also, I took it globally.
Tell me about the Go Texan a little bit, because I think I actually saw a little bit about that, but I thought we need to hear about this. Tell us what is the goal? What is it? What does it do that it benefits so many people?
And this benefits the average citizen that's not into farming. Okay. So we have a Go Texan program. We recognize that Texas is a special place.
That's right.
We have a certain, you know, Western atmosphere, certain breeds. People say we have a swagger when we walk, you know. So it's bragging rights. So it's products made in Texas. And it doesn't have to be agriculture products. Okay. So it started out entrepreneurs, startup companies, mom and pops would make a really good product, maybe salsa, beef jerky or something like that. They didn't know anything about marketing. Okay. So we would partner with them. We said, all right, we'll show you how to get it into H-E-B and Kroger. We help you market it on Amazon. So we partner with them. We get them up and running. Wow. So we've done that. We've grown that from 250 members to over 2,500 since I've been in office.
And it went nationwide now.
Not only nationwide, but the first 2 weeks I was in office, I figured out I could use my Texas citizenship to promote these Texas products across the world because
That's
people
a
just
great
love to do
idea.
business with a Texan. I mean, I
Yes.
show up in this big hat and belt buckle and boots.
Yeah, for sure.
And
Yeah.
they're ready. You just close
Oh,
the
yeah.
deal. So
Yeah.
we launched a global outreach. We're on every continent on the globe the first 12 months I was in office. We didn't
Wow.
we didn't go to Antarctica, but
Okay,
all the rest
okay,
of
all right,
them
all right.
we made.
Uh-huh.
So, I opened an office in Argentina.
Wow.
I've been personally to China and Europe and Israel and all
Goodness.
over. And it's been very, very successful.
What a blessing. You really have an entrepreneurial gifting. As I was researching a little bit about you, you just have so many giftings wrapped in one person. You thought you were going to take the office of agricultural commissioner, but really what you're doing is you're promoting and pushing people's dreams, Commissioner.
Oh, yeah.
You are, and that's so important. I think when you think about Texans, I do believe have a strong entrepreneurial spirit for sure.
We do.
And so when you have somebody like yourself who's really taken the time to go, how can I help my fellow Texans? It doesn't just help Texans. I mean, it helps beyond. Clearly,
Sure.
you just talked about global. I mean, it's a global thing. So I think that's absolutely wonderful. There are so many things that you take care of that I think it was time for the viewers to understand. What all does this entail? And I think you're just barely touching just a little bit of it
We're
based
just
on.
scratching the surface. There's much, much more.
For sure. I want to talk to you about the millions of meals that you are responsible for here in Texas. So I read that number and I thought, I need to clarify that. Is that per day? Is that per week? Is that per month? How many children are you responsible for feeding?
Well, in one day, I'm responsible for 5 million school meals, public school meals,
Okay.
each day. That's just in the schools.
Wow.
So that's our single largest program. Nutrition, we do, besides school meals, we do summer feeding programs, we do adult feeding programs. We help stock the area, 20 area food banks across the state. We work with Meals on Wheels and help fund them. Wow. So it's a big department. It's the biggest department. Matter of fact, my whole department is a $6 billion agency.
Wow.
That's just a number to most
Unreal.
people, but
Yes.
if you put it in perspective, my budget is larger than the budget of 31 governors. So it's a big agency.
Because everything's bigger in Texas.
That's correct.
That's right. And
You would be
everything's
correct.
better in Texas. I know some people say, I don't know about that. No, I know about that. We're good. That's really amazing. So obviously politics are always part of the equation. You can't get away from it, right?
Right.
So there was a time when you faced kind of an overreach from the federal government where you were told that you needed to comply with pushing the LGBT agenda. Talk to us about that.
Well, it was from President Biden's executive order. For those of us that run the school nutrition programs, we were given the executive order to adopt his LGBTQ agenda, or they would no longer feed our children. I mean, that's pretty using children as a weapon.
Sure.
Pretty low in my book.
Yes.
Well, the cowboy spirit came out in me. I said, "Not in Texas.
right.
We ain't doing that."
That's right.
So I sued him, and
Good for
I have
you.
about 17 lawyers, but the state lawyer is a guy named Ken Paxton.
Oh, no.
So Ken Paxton, we joined together. We did a lot of the work. Ken's staff did a lot of the work, and we successfully sued the Biden administration to stop that. So we're not doing it in Texas,
Good.
nor does anyone in the entire United States have to do that. We won that. We won that suit.
Oh, good. That's wonderful to hear. Yeah, that is unfortunate that you tie in this agenda with food. It should not have to cross in one to another. But, I'm thankful for that, Commissioner, because I think there's a lot of weakness going on right now with officials and just succumbing to whatever it is that's given to them. I think somebody needs to be the voice so that we can protect the future of our state. So thank you for that. You have your own TV show. This is why I was so impressed. I said, this man has so many things. Where do you have time to fit it all? Tell us about your show.
Well, we wanted to promote Texas products. So we're better to do it than in 55 million homes across North America.
Wonderful.
So we partnered with RFD TV, Patrick Gotch. They're worked out of the stockyards here in Fort Worth, the studios there. So each week we have Texas Agriculture Matters. It's kind of like Bob Phillips' Country Reporter. We go around the state showcasing the best that Texas has to offer. So you'll know a lot of these people. There could be your neighbors, but we have a lot of fun doing it. It's been very successful. So we've had about 95 episodes.
That's good.
So far. We're in our 10th season.
Wow.
Yeah, and there's more than one season a year, so I hadn't done it for 10 years. We have a couple of seasons a year, so we've been doing about 5 years.
Wow. So what is it? Educating people? I know the Texas Reporter, that was kind of fun. They would take you. Is it kind of the same idea? You're educating, but also introducing people, Texans. Tell us a little bit more about.
Well, we might do wine one show. We have about 3 different segments in the show.
Okay.
We might do longhorn cattle. We might do wine. We might do cotton.
Okay.
Next time we might do peanuts. We might do hemp. We might do something else.
Wow.
So just kind of where your food comes from, how it gets to your from farm to table, that kind of stuff.
Okay. Well, that's fun.
Yeah.
That's great. Okay, so you have a hilarious. First of all, you're funny. And I see some of your posts sometimes, and I think this man is hilarious. But I was at a picnic here in our area not too long ago, and I heard you tell a toilet paper story.
Oh, yeah.
And but then I realized he has a lot of stories, so I want to start with that one. Okay. So what is the deal with the toilet paper story?
Well, back in COVID, it was pretty rough, and store shelves were empty. You couldn't find any paper towels. You couldn't find any toilet paper anywhere. I mean, we were out.
I remember there was fights going on over there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we laugh about it now, but it was kind of serious. No toilet paper.
Yes.
So at the largest distribution warehouse in the state, one of my inspectors called me. He's over there inspecting eggs, for consumer protection. We do the eggs. So he said, boss, this warehouse is full of toilet paper. I've never seen as much toilet paper in my life. There's enough toilet paper in here for every man, woman, and child in the whole state.
Wow.
I said, what are they doing sitting on that toilet paper? You can't find a roll anywhere. He said, I have no idea. I said, go get the boss. I want to talk to him. So we'll go get the warehouse manager. I said, hey, what are y'all doing sitting on all that toilet paper? Let's get it shipped out. People need it. He said, I can't sell this toilet paper. I said, what do you mean you can't sell this toilet paper? He said, it's illegal to sell this toilet paper in Texas. I said, how could it possibly be illegal to sell toilet paper in Texas when we need it so bad? He said, well, Texas has a law that any product sold in the state of Texas, the instructions have to be printed in English. This is all in Spanish.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, my goodness. I said, I don't think I know anybody that needs instructions on how to use toilet paper.
That's right. And hey, and if there were, you can find it on YouTube somewhere.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I said, I tell you what, I've got real good at getting waivers because I had to get a lot of waivers to change the way I fed those kids.
Oh.
One day I was feeding them in the lunchroom. Next day I had to figure out how to feed them at home. Well, I had to break a lot of rules. To break rules, you got to get permission.
Okay.
So I said, I tell you what, let me get you a waiver, which is permission to break the rules this one time. If I can get that, I want you to call your superiors and see if they would distribute that to Texans and not send it to Mexico or South America.
There you go.
So 45 minutes I had the waiver. I called them back, and boom, within the week, everybody had toilet paper again.
Oh, goodness. Everybody was celebrating and saying, hey, this is going to be a good day.
It's a cool job. I mean, I do stuff no one knows about.
Well,
but
I know.
It's really a cool job.
Well, that's amazing. Who would have thought that you were connected to the toilet paper issue?
That's it.
So now
I just kind of, intervened.
So you'll be the farm boss and the toilet paper boss.
That's it.
Amen to that. That's wonderful.
I take this job seriously. And nothing wrong with this, but previous commissioners, it's been kind of the commissioner part was kind of secondary. They were a candidate for trying to position themselves to run for lieutenant governor or governor, and so their full focus was on the next rung up the ladder. But for me, I'm the ag commissioner today. I'll be the ag commissioner tomorrow. Good. Next week,
that's right.
Next year, I got reelected, so I'm going to be there for 4 more years.
There you go.
And I put everything I have because that Texas deserves nothing less.
Thank you. Well, I appreciate that because one of the things that I think differentiates you is that you're an 8th generation farmer. Mm-hmm. So you came from a whole line of hardworking men.
Oh, yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well,
I think this is important.
I was in the shop welding yesterday, and before the rain drove me into the barn, I was plowing. So I still make my living off the land in Stephenville and do this job too. So it's something that's been in our family a long time, since been doing it since 1700 in the United States.
Wow. That's very impressive, Commissioner, because I think that changes the meaning of and really the motivation of why somebody's doing something. You just proved it. You said, some people just want to position themselves for future positions in government, et cetera, which that's fine. But honestly, Texas is about quality.
Yeah.
We really take pride in quality, and how we're doing things, even generationally.
Yes.
Even generationally. So I think this is really important. I think you're one of a kind, and I think it's absolutely wonderful.
Well, I look at this job from a businessman's aspect instead of a bureaucrat. So I look at, I'm running this $6 billion agency. I look like I'm running a Fortune 100 company.
There you go.
That's the way I look at it. I don't look like I'm running a bureaucracy.
There you go.
So we do things outside the box, like the TV show.
Yes.
We have a NASCAR racing team. Know what bureaucrat has his own race team?
How did that happen?
It's the Go Texan racing team. We're in the truck series. So a lot of our Go Texan partners, they want to market to the redneck crowd, basically, the NASCAR crowd. So I said, okay, we'll just get us a car. We'll get into. Oh my gosh, that was expensive. But I met this really nice gentleman from San Marcos. He has a team, and I was thinking. I said, Tim, I want you to come to my office. I've got a proposition for you. So he came in. I said, look, I want your NASCAR racing team to join my Go Texan program. Well, he just laughed at me. He said, why does my race car need to be part of the Texas Agriculture Department's marketing team? I said, well, we've got a lot of people that want to be part of NASCAR. And I looked into sponsoring a car, but they can't afford it.
Sure.
I said, but once you become a Go Texan partner, I have an obligation to promote your product, which is your car and your racing team. And as soon as you do that, I've got a guy that will take your right front fender, one that'll take your door, one to take the quarter panel. I got another one wants the tailgate, one wants the roof, one wants the hood.
Oh my goodness.
Then we're going to go down the other side, and every sponsor on your car will be a Texas company.
There you go.
He said, oh my God, that is cool. He said, sign me up. So we've been racing now for a little over 5 years.
Wow.
And we have the Go Texan number 22 truck
there you go.
in the truck. Now, we haven't actually won a race, but we're getting so close.
We're real close. Y'all pray now. We're going to get there.
Any weekend now.
That's right. Anytime now. Hey, I just admire the go for it. I think that's great. So you actually have another story about President Trump. Yeah. And you were I think you were in a car with him, and your ringer goes off. Is this?
Yeah.
Okay, I would love to hear that. I think our viewers would love to hear this story. It's quite funny.
The president calls and said, I want you to meet me at El Paso on the tarmac. I've got a rally out there. Okay, I can do it.
I guess I can.
I was actually supposed to be at the Dixie National in Mississippi, but I canceled. Okay. So we go out there, and it's the Lieutenant Governor and the Attorney General and me and the President. We get in the Beast, the car, to go. And I've got a suit on. I've got my phone in my pocket, and we're all strapped in. It's really tight. It looks like a big car, but the walls are like that thick.
Oh, wow.
And my phone goes off, and my ringtone is the good, the bad, the ugly. And I was so embarrassed. I couldn't get my phone. I couldn't get it cut off, and it rang and rang. And the president slaps me on the leg, said, oh, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Clint Eastwood said, well, I saw him the other day. He's not looking too good. I said, Mr. President, he's 90. Give him a break. She said, that was the best Western ever made. I said, oh, no, that wasn't the best Western ever made. That was a spaghetti Western. Wasn't even made in the United States. He said, what do you mean? I said, Tombstone's the best Western ever made. He said, Tombstone? I said, yeah, Val Kilmer, Doc Holliday, Wyatt Earp, the OK Corral, the shootout. He said, Tombstone? I said, yeah. He said, well, okay, I guess I have to watch it.
He's got to be a Texan to get it, right? He's got to be. Well, I think that was very funny. And I was like, oh, I wonder what I would felt like, right? Because you're trying to be professional, do your thing. But, hey, things happen, and that's what makes you so fun to be around, because you can just be so human,
The funny part about that story is he said, why are people saying that El Paso was not the highest crime city in the nation before we built the wall through it? I said, well, I know something about that, Mr. President. I was chairman of Homeland Security and Public Safety when we built the wall through there.
Oh, wow.
And you're from New York, and you understand what cooking the books is, right? He said, oh, yeah, I know what that is. I said, so the mayor out here, and they wouldn't turn in the correct counts on the crimes that was committed. They would always downgrade it one. So they weren't turning in. And I said, most all the cities along the border did that because they did not want to be known as the highest crime city. Tourism would stop. Students wouldn't come to UTEP. Businesses would flee. He said, "You mean it's like fake news?" I said, "Yes,
Oh
sir.
my goodness.
It's like fake news."
Just like fake news.
So he turns to Lieutenant Governor and Attorney General and said, "Can I say that in my speech tonight? What do y'all think?" They go, "Oh, no, you better not do that. I said, "Sure, Mr. President, I'll back you up on it. You can say it. It's factual." So I didn't think any more about it. So we got to the rally, and the mayor's there. And it's not the same mayor that when we built the wall, but I know him. And he gets into it, and he lights into the mayor, saying that's fake news about not being.
Oof.
So he gets up to give his speech, and the guy has no filter. He says, "I've been told that El Paso was the highest crime city before we built the wall through it," and everybody says, "No, it wasn't." He said, "I've got it by a really good source that El Paso was the highest crime city in the nation, and your mayor's a piece of crap. He's been cooking the books the whole time."
Oh my gosh.
And he's sitting right there. I go, "Oh my
Oh
God."
my goodness.
On national TV. That was his exact words.
Oh my goodness. But we're not surprised. I mean,
No,
we know President
no.
Trump's very bold.
So
Yes.
anyway, he kind of he goes off. He does go off script.
Oh wow. Hey, I think that's good though. That's what makes you real.
Makes him real.
That's right. That's right. You have an amazing wife. I met her, very sweet woman, beautiful woman. But you have a hilarious story about her. And on top of that, she's an amazing woman. I want to talk about the amazing work she's done. But first, you have a story about a chicken coop.
Oh, yeah. So I travel a lot. I'm gone all the time. And she started a couple of at-risk charter schools to get these kids off the street. And she did that for 20 years. And she retired, but she put everything she had into saving those kids. So she didn't really have any hobbies. So I come in one day, and I said, "Honey, you got to do something besides listen to Rush Limbaugh and watch Fox News."
Because there's a big problem with that.
Yeah. I said, "You need to find a hobby." She said, "Yeah, I do. I'm going to find one." So I'm traveling. About 2 weeks later, I'm in Houston. I'm gone all the time. I had to stop in Fort Worth today here, and I got to go back through Weatherford.
Oh, goodness.
So I'm all over the place. So she called me and said, "Hey, I found a hobby. You're going to love it." I said, "Good. What is it?" She said, "Oh, no. When you get home, I'll show you." So a couple of days, I walk in the house. I says, "All right, I want to see your hobby." She said, "Well, come out in the backyard. I'll show it to you." So we walk out in the backyard, and there it was, the most beautiful chicken coop I'd ever seen. I'm so excited. I said, "The first lady of agriculture is a poultry farmer. This is perfect. I can make a campaign commercial.
Right,
this is great.
Could've.
You couldn't have picked a better hobby. Let's go look at your chickens." So we go and we look in the chicken coop. She's got a young rooster, an old rooster, and one hen. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, this is not going to work. You're a country girl. You know better than that. Get rid of one of those roosters and go get you some more hens." She said, "Oh no, you don't understand." I said, "Apparently not. What do I not understand?" She said, "That hen needs both those roosters." I'm thinking, "Why does that hen need both those roosters?" She said, "Well, you see that old rooster?" I said, "Yeah, what about him?" She said, "He travels a lot. He's gone all the time."
Wonder who she was talking about. Yes.
I got the message. So.
You got the message. And she travels with you
I just take her with
time?
me everywhere
There
now,
you go.
so
Smart
I don't
man.
leave her at home.
Smart man. I want to touch back on a little bit about her starting these schools. What happened? What drove her to do this? Because I think a lot of times we don't see the push, the emotion, the struggle, the buildup of what pushes you and launches you into something so important.
She'd been an educator all of her life, and she was a high school counselor at that local high school. And she saw certain kids just falling through the crack. They didn't quite fit in, a teenage mother, They were kind of discouraged from attending the high school, and other kids that they were kind of pushing them out into out the door. That just didn't fit in. So she came home one day and said, "Hey, I just quit my job." I said, "Oh no, that's not good." I said, "What are you going to do?" She said, "I'm going to start a school for these at-risk youth, and we're going to get them off the street, and we're going to make productive tax-paying citizens out of them instead of them being on the tax receiving end."
Amen.
So she did that, and she did it very well for 20 years. She opened a school there in Stephenville. Then she opened a second one in a residential treatment center.
Wow.
Where they're adjudicated by the courts, these kids, to go get off drugs or alcohol or whatever the problem is. So
wow,
it's 100% attendance because they're locked in. They
Hey.
can't attendance is great.
Attendance is there. I don't know about participation, but certainly attendance.
So she's truly made sure that no child was left behind.
Wow.
I'm very proud of her for doing that.
Of course, I was proud of her. When I heard that story, I thought, my goodness, this needs to be told.
Yeah.
You guys make an amazing couple. How long have y'all been married?
46 years.
46 years, guys. There you go. That's wonderful.
go.
Commissioner, you truly impress me. I'm not just saying that. I love how driven and passionate you are about making Texas a better place and beyond, because what we do here clearly goes on to other states and globally even, including the work that your wife has done. I think that's wonderful. I was a teenage mom, so I fully appreciate what she's done, and even I love the entrepreneurial thing. Obviously, clearly here we are entrepreneurs.
Sure.
So thank you for what you've done. Thank you.
Thank you for what you do. What you do is very important.
Thank you. Are there any last words that you'd like to encourage our fellow Texans with? That we're in a very kind of fragile time in our nation, but Texans are go-getters. However, the reality is there. What could you say to our viewers that will encourage us? I hear a lot of discouragement going on with people right now. What can we say?
My mental makeup is I don't let the negative in, and I would recommend your people, stay away from the negative. If it's negative, don't go there. Stay positive. Look for the best in people, not the worst in people. You'll go a lot further in life if you'll have that attitude. And
That's right.
Don't sweat the small stuff.
There you go.
And most of it's small stuff. And here's how you tell if it's small stuff.
Okay.
If it's not affecting your life 5 years from now, that's small stuff.
That's good.
You can get a new car. You can, replace a house, whatever. Don't sweat it. That's temporary.
That's right. That's good. Thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure having you on. And again, thank you for all that you're doing. How can people find you? What if they have questions? How do they find out if they have something they need to inform themselves on?
Two things. One thing I want to mention before we
do.
close out is I started a agri-stress helpline for farmers and ranchers.
Okay.
It's always bothered me that the two highest rates of suicide in our nation are veterans and farmers and ranchers. And it kind of surprises people that farmers have a high rate of suicide.
Yeah.
But I'm an 8th generation farmer and rancher. And there came a point where my dad got in a financial bind. We lost everything. And he was suicidal. And he ended up, anyway. So that's always been in my mind. We have suicide hotlines that you can call, but you may get somebody in New York City. They don't know anything about ag life or the resources for rural people. So I started one. It's called, and I don't call it a suicide hotline. It's called Agri-Stress Helpline.
Oh,
and you can just Google that.
Yeah, we're going to list
it'll pop up.
Okay.
So the difference is when you call that line, people that answer that understand agriculture.
Good.
And what you're going through. If it's a financial bind, you're about to lose the farm or whatever, they'll say, well, did you know that the USDA has a low interest loan program you could apply for?
Oh, that's wonderful.
Or do you know that the Texas Department of Agriculture has the STAR program, State of Texas Agriculture Relief Fund, that can help you replace your barns and fences that got burned or destroyed by the hurricane or tornado. And we just kind of have those assets and resources available that somebody on the regular line would not have. So
very creative.
We got that up and running. Been over a year. We launched it right after the Uvalde shooting. And that's an ag community, and a lot of those people are we're going through that. So far we've helped over 120 people not take their life.
Wow.
And my goal is to get it in every state in the nation. And so far, we have 10 other states that are running our hotline.
That's awesome.
Agri-stress hotline.
What does it require to get these other states to get on board?
Well, you got to pay for it.
You do, or the states
so
do?
It costs me about $10,000 a month
Wow.
for my part. But each state we add, it reduces that cost.
Oh, okay.
But we have to hire people and have them on staff, and we've got to train them to get the right resources. So there is a cost to it.
Okay.
I went to the legislature and told them what I was doing. I first got a grant from the federal government to get it started.
Wonderful.
This last time I went to the legislature, told them what I was doing. They said, "Oh yeah, we're going to do that.
That's a big deal.
So yeah, you just gotta show the value in it, and there is value in it.
Absolutely. I know we were about to close, but just real quick, do you sit around and just think about how many programs you can develop, or how do you come up with this? Because that's really creative, and I love that you didn't call it suicide. We all know stress will lead you to want to take your own life sometimes. I mean, even if you don't mean it, those thoughts come forth. How did you come up with that?
Well, you see a problem, and everybody's good about bringing you their problem, but no one brings you the answer.
The solutions.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. If you're going to bring me a problem, bring me the solution, and we'll get after it.
That's my motto.
So, the suicide was a problem. I saw no one doing anything about it, at least on the ag end of it. So, just like the race car, we figured out a way to make it happen. Just like the TV show, we figured out we saw a problem. People don't know what we do at the ag department. Well, let's get on TV and tell them.
There you go.
So we do that. I also do a radio show.
Wonderful. Now, is this all part of the state, or is something that you have to...
all state.
So that means that there has to be some very smart, creative budgeting going on.
Right. So the TV show actually only cost us man hours. We worked a great deal there. We're not spending taxpayer dollars there. Not spending taxpayer dollars on the radio program either. We're not spending any taxpayer dollars on the racing team either.
Wow.
The members pay for that themselves. So.
Well, I think you could go and give some advice to some other states running around here. There's some states that could really use some help and some budgeting and just some good old common sense.
Everybody else's solution would go to the legislature and get an appropriations. Let the taxpayers pay for it.
That's right.
We don't do that.
Wow.
We pay our own way.
Have you written a book yet?
I have not.
Oh, I think you need to write a book.
Maybe so. Maybe that's in
absolutely. I think you absolutely need to write a book. I think there's a lot in you that... it could even be one of those books that years later you could go, this was the commissioner who started this.
I'd have to do that between 2 days. That means I'd have to do it at night because I don't think I have time otherwise to do it.
Hey, well, I believe there's a great book in you, and I look forward to seeing it one day. So anything else, Commissioner? This is free time.
You can find me at Miller for Texas on Facebook, Twitter, X. SidMiller.com is my website.
Okay.
So check us out.
Absolutely. Once again, what were you going to say? I'm sorry.
Very active on social media. Have over 1 million followers.
Oh, yeah. No, I've seen your stuff. I was like, he's busy. How does he get this busy? Commissioner, truly, it's been so much fun. So great to have your stories and just to have even just a nibble of where do you come from? Why do you do this? It's encouraging and inspiring, truly. And I think for our viewers, I think you could agree that there's a lot of great stuff here, guys. Honestly, I love to watch some of our guests and I pull principles out of their life because I see so much creativity in the commissioner, even regarding the entrepreneurial spirit, creativity. You heard him say it's not costing the taxpayers money. Hello, can we please adopt that mentality throughout the nation? That'd be great at the federal level too, right? And so we just want to encourage you, friends, to really pay attention to what's going on here. What makes Texas better and different? Amen?
Thank you.
May God richly bless you, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks again.